My name is Gina and it's another wonderful episode of Foodies and Spice. So go call your friends, family and everybody. Foodies and Spice is about to start. So it's another beautiful episode of Foodies and Spice, and today I am making Abula. Abula is a combination of Amala, which is the swallow, Gbegiri, which is the bean soup, Ewedu, which is the jute soup, and stew, the tomato stew. You can imagine somebody just thinking of combining these three things and swallow. You think like maybe the person is doing too much or has done too much. Yes, I feel so too. But it's actually an amazing recipe for wonder. What do I have here? Amala, assorted meat. Inside my assorted meat, I've got tripe, I've got roundabout, that's shaki and roundabout. I've got pomo, tomatoes, pepper, tatashe, onions for the stew. For the Gbegiri, which is the bean soup, I've got 1 cup of cleaned beans. I've got the palm oil, salt, seasoning, crayfish for the Gbegiri. The Ewedu, which is the jute leaves or ayoyo leaves for those in the north. I'll be using the leaves with the locust beans. That's iru, fermented locust beans. Any other thing I'll be adding, I'll let you know, but there is Titus fish here to add to this my stew because this stew needs to, carry weight. It needs to carry body. All right, let's get to it. First thing first, we start cooking our meat because nobody wants to eat meat and be dragging it like this. Meat needs to soft. Yeah, so we start with the meat first. The assorted meat, onions, salt, seasoning. I'll stay on that. Then cover it to cook. Let's cook the beans. Now the beans doesn't come like this. Normal beans, the way beans used to look like. But I cleaned this one already, like we removed the skin, that's why it's looking like this. You wash it or clean it as if you are about to make moi moi or akara. So I'm just going to add this into the pot now. And there's one thing about Gbegiri too. Apart from this soup, like using it in Abula, you can eat Gbegiri on its own. Yeah, with any swallow of choice. You can also use it to eat rice. I love to mix it with rice. This is just about 1/4 bulb of onion and then enough water for it to cook. But always make sure that you allow the meat bring out its own water first before you add some water to it. That said, tomatoes, pepper, onions. Let's blend it. I have my onions in here, tomatoes, pepper, scotch bonnet. You can use habanero according to your taste. Tatashe, also known as bell peppers. And that's it. Food processor to process this. Okay, that's ready. I'll start frying it. I'm doing a mix of palm oil and vegetable oil today. Meat is cooking, beans is cooking. I have my tomatoes, pepper, onions blended. Now you can fry your fish if you want to. Yeah. Clipping off the fins. So I'll just set this aside so when I need it. Like I said, palm oil. I'm doing a mix of both palm oil and vegetable oil. Is that a mix you like? I don't know, I just like that mix. I like that mix. Palm oil, vegetable oil. Let me know if you like it. You can come on Facebook Foodies and Spice, YouTube Foodies and Spice, Gina Foodies and Spice on Instagram to tell me about your experience with mixing palm oil and vegetable oil, okay? All right, so we'll just allow this one heat up a bit. I'll add some onions to it, then start frying the stew. Onions goes in, salt. Okay, so my onions and salt, tomatoes, pepper, onions, tatashe. So I'll be adding the tomato paste later. Let this one cook for a few minutes before I add the tomato paste. Alright, so it's time for me to add the tomato paste. I have about half cooking spoon of tomato paste here. I'll cover it to cook. And I'm going to cut my pomo to size now because that meat is already done. So I'll cut it to size and just add it to the meat to soak up some of that stock alongside. So that's my pomo. The ewedu is here already. I'll wash and start working on that in a bit, but right now let me check on my beans. These beans has to be very soft, which it is. So we're going to blend it now and mix that gbegiri into the oil. Mix the beans into the oil to make our gbegiri. Gbegiri needs to come out watery or runny. So that's why I have this much water, of which I might even still add some more water while cooking it. And this is our beans puree. Next thing I'm going to do is pour it back into my pot with some palm oil, a little bit of crayfish, salt and seasoning, and allow it to start cooking. I'm looking for a light soup. All right, so I pour into the pot. Salt to taste, seasoning to taste, palm oil, crayfish, stir, then cover it to allow everything incorporate. Okay, so the stew is ready. I'll add my pomo to the stew. All right, so let's add the meat. I have my pomo in there. And in goes the meat. I'll transfer this to this place so that it can cook quickly. So I'll allow it cook for about 3 minutes before I add the fish. Okay. The beans is cooking. We'll work on the ewedu now. The ewedu leaves or jute leaves, ayoyo leaves, I'm going to wash them now. They've been picked. I like to wash my leaves with salt. So I'm going to be using very small water. Just small, that should be fine. All right, so that's fine. I'll pour it into my pot now. But first I'll put some small water with the locust beans to be cooking in the pot before I add the ewedu leaves. Now this looks really, really good, but I'm adding fish to this stew. So this is my ewedu. I will allow this cook for about 3 minutes. And I think my beans is ready. The gbegiri is ready. All right, so this is ready. I'll turn it off and it's time to make the amala because this tree soup, as they are like this, it has to go down with amala. Okay, so our amala has come together. Pepper, baby.
So this is nice.
So
this is so nice.
I cannot even joking.